And of course, hearing a lot about Numsa lately, from a chaotic National Congress to deadlocked motor sector wage talks. It's welcoming now the dismissal of a contempt of court application that could have seen its leaders behind bars. Let's get the very latest now of that and the wage talks from Numsa Spokesperson Phakamile Hlubi-Majola. Phakamile, always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for your time and good morning to you. Your reaction as opposed to this court application. We understand Numsa official Ruth Ntlokotse's application now to hold Numsa in contempt of court has been dismissed.
Good morning, and good morning to your viewers, and thank you so much for having me on your show. Indeed, as Numsa, we are totally relieved by the decision that was handed down by Justice Van Niekerk yesterday, where he dismissed in its entirety the application which was launched by the former Second Deputy President, Ruth Ntlokotse. As your viewers are already aware, Ruth Ntlokotse approached the Labour Court on the basis that she claimed Numsa had basically violated the terms of the interdict that Justice Mushwana had handed down. She claimed that we were in contempt of court because we were not adhering in full to the terms of the interdict, and she called on the Labour Court to declare the decisions of the National Congress to be null and void, and also on the basis that the union was in contempt of court. And she called on the court to grant her a punishment in the form of the arrest and jailing of the General Secretary of Numsa and the President, Comrade Chirwa. So the fact that Justice Van Niekerk he was very thorough in his judgment. He said, and I quote, that I am not persuaded that the applicant has established a breach of the order beyond a reasonable doubt as part of, what he believed. He basically was not convinced by her argument. In his view, he felt that the union actually did take all the necessary steps before it proceeded with the Congress. We were able to demonstrate that. We showed to the court that when Justice Mushwana handed down his decision saying that there were defects in our constitution, we stopped the Congress. And for 2 days, we resolved the constitutional defects that had been identified by Justice Mushwana. And only after that did we proceed with the Congress. We allowed Ruth Ntlokotse she was unsuspended. She was informed that she was unsuspended. She was allowed to participate. She did not take the opportunity to participate and contest. Even though, so the fact is that we did everything we were supposed to do. And as far as the law is concerned, we are on the right side on this. And the Congress was duly constituted and was held, and the court has supported that.
A clear victory there for Numsa, Phakamile. I'd like to get your update as well in terms of those negotiations that have been ongoing between yourselves and the motor sector. We know that you had been demanding 12% increase. The employer still not pleased with this demand?
We must be very frank. The talks in the motor sector right now, as things stand in our view, are not going that well. We have 2 days set down for these talks. We were meeting yesterday, and today is the last day, as part of the Motor Industries Bargaining Council Dispute Resolution Committee. This is the last opportunity for employers to engage us so that we can find one another. And we must say, we are deeply disappointed by the behavior of the FRA and the RMI, the employer associations, because yesterday we were left sitting and waiting for them for the whole day. There was very little engagement between ourselves. We did not have a meeting, the kind of meeting that we were expecting. The FRA decided to attend a meeting at DMRE. RMI made excuses about whatever they needed to do in the morning. And honestly, this for us demonstrates the kind of disdain that we have been dealing with continuously from employers in the motor sector. They do not take these talks seriously. They do not take these engagements seriously. And when we declare a strike, it's going to be the very same people running to the media complaining about us, saying that we are collapsing the economy, and yet here we are. We have an opportunity to find each other. We have an opportunity to engage and resolve these talks, and they are not taking this process seriously. So we hope that today they will use what is left, because it's the last day, to actually meet with us and engage us so that we can find a middle ground and hopefully compromise without having to go on a strike.
I appreciate you joining us this morning. Numsa Spokesperson Phakamile Hlubi-Majola updating us on both, of course, the court interdict, of course, that was pursued by a former Numsa official, Ruth Ntlokotsi. That was definitely, dismissed by the court, but also saying that it seems those negotiations with the motor sector have now deadlocked, not going as well as they had hoped for, and appealing to the motor industry to come to party.